What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to try to take a cheap car stereo and a bunch of crap I got from Goodwill and turn it into a nice Bluetooth speaker from my garage. Check it out.
There's pretty much always music going on in my house, so for Christmas I bought my wife a pretty sweet little Bluetooth stereo, and honestly I really like it, but I thought I kind of need something like that for the garage. So today we're going to see if I can make something pretty comparable out of $15 worth of garbage from Goodwill and a $20 car stereo. And I think I'm going to be able to get something pretty good out of it. Let's find out.
Now, since I'm not wiring up to a car, I'm wiring it up in the house, I'm going to need something to convert the power from 110, which is normal house power, to 12 volts DC, which is the battery power from a vehicle. Now, I got this guy. Input is 120 volts AC, and output is 12 volts DC. Now, it might not create quite enough amperage, but we're going to give it a shot and see if this works. It was $4, so I'm optimistic. So wiring is probably the most intimidating part of every install for a car stereo. It shouldn't be like that because this is about as simple as it gets. So we have our ground, which obviously goes with our hot. And so this is what comes on when you click the key on. The power starts coming through here. This one, the yellow, goes straight to the battery. So this is also hot, but it's always on, and that's for retaining where your music was and your clock, stuff like that, memory. This guy is for turning on your amp power. So when you click the key on, this actually sends power to the relay on your amp, and that turns your amp on so it's not on all the time. And then white, green, purple, and gray all go to their own speaker. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Okay, it took me a couple tries to figure out that it's actually not going to work if you don't connect the yellow one. This particular stereo, connecting the red and the black to the car, isn't enough. You have to actually have the yellow one connected for the stereo to even come on, which is good to know. Now let's wire up some speakers, I guess. I'm not sure what came over me, but while we're in our prototyping phase, I decided to put a little bit of electrical tape around everything so nothing's going to be arcing out. Trying to be a good role model for you guys, I guess. Must be the Christmas spirit.
Now, technically, this setup does work. Critically, it works very poorly, and I think the issue that we're dealing with is the voltage is, within the range that's acceptable, but I think it's not able to create enough amperage from the power supply to run this thing because we experience a ton of distortion when we try to turn the volume up. I think we're just not getting enough amperage, and so I have a little suspicion that this box in here converts AC to DC, so it probably has a power supply in it. So we're going to rip it apart and see what we can come up with, and maybe we'll use the one that's inside of here instead. It's probably going to be a little bit better.
Now, I'm pretty sure they intentionally make this stuff not serviceable. There's no screws on this anywhere, but fortunately, being a technician, I have an 18-ounce extraction tool, and I think we're going to be able to get what we want out of here. I'm glad I didn't hit that. Hey, what do we got going on over here? I think we might have what we're looking for. But we gotta finish the job though. After discarding everything that I'm not planning on using, this is what we're left with. These are 3 of the external speakers all ripped apart. This is the one that was inside of the speaker cabinet. This was the transformer at the bottom, and this is the printed circuit board. So what we're dealing with here is these stereos run off of 12 to 14 volts, whatever your vehicle is supplying to them. Now, the power that we're going to be running is from the house, so it's going to be 110, 120 volts AC. What this transformer does is that chokes it down to about 13 volts AC, and then it goes through these bridge rectifiers and through this capacitor, and I just scabbed my power in directly into the back, and what's coming out of this capacitor is going to be about 16 volts DC, which it's a little high, so this is going to run a little bit on the hot side, but it's going to work just fine. Some of you are probably looking at this and thinking, it seems like an awful lot of work just to get this power supply to work, and so you might be wondering why I'm going through it. There's 2 reasons. One of them is because this one is sitting right in front of me, and it's completely available. I could go to the store and get one, but there's not going to be a store close to me that has what I'm looking for. And the other reason is I already paid for this one. I don't really want to go pay for another one. I want to just sit down and get it done. It's going to take a little bit longer in terms of work, but it's not going to cost me any money, and I don't have to go anywhere to make this happen. That's the whole reason why I'm doing it.
Hell yeah, I can live with that. Not bad.
Let's tally things up. So, the car stereo that I got from Walmart was 19 bucks. The speaker cabinet that came with the power supply and all of the external speakers was 10 bucks at Goodwill. So, even if you include the power supply that I tried first that didn't end up working, all in costs are less than 35 bucks, which is pretty cool. Now, at the same time, I probably could have spent $15 or $20 more and purchased a professionally built unit that looks a lot nicer, that's going to last a little bit longer. So it's pretty strange that I would go through all this trouble for something like that, because I'm a pretty strange guy. But if nothing else, it's pretty good bragging rights, because not everybody can ruin a perfectly good car stereo like I can. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for doing your part to help make this world a strange place.